堪称是今夏最大谜团，到底东京奥运办不办？举办奥运的合约当中明确写定，60天前国际奥会可以宣布取消不办。推算时间点，应该最后是在5月下旬就要宣布。而且要知道，是奥会可以打退堂鼓，日本不能主动说不办。日本首相菅义伟被问到这个问题，从来就是说办到底。7月23号就是开幕式，没有改变。但遍访全球各地民众，谁也不相信办得成。第一个就是运动选手、裁判是否有事先隔离的问题，这部分人数还算少，还勉强能够控管。那观光客怎么办呢？偌大的场地，动不动上万人进出的大型比赛，要怎么确保大家都符合防疫？如果要确保社交距离，防疫维安的人力又是多一大笔预算，而且事前难道要缴交核酸检验阴性报告才能入场吗？日本不讳言，有冬奥 B 计划正在考虑，就是举行没有观众的闭门赛事，反正有比赛能转播就好。据说奥运卖出的转播权就高达40亿美元，千万不能取消。而且万一真的取消，已经纳入冬奥的43座场馆，该怎么安排？沉没成本算不完，冬奥钱坑也补不满，不成功便成仁。现在日本政府只求老天赏饭，看看有没有机会奇迹乍现，疫情走远，让冬奥付诸实现。
象征奥运的大型5环标志已经完成保养，伫立东京台场海滨公园，准备迎接这场盛会到来。东京奥运原定2020年夏天举行，因为爆发新冠疫情被迫延期1年后，却依旧命运多舛，笼罩着各种不确定性。
Our task is to organize Olympic Games and not to cancel Olympic Games.And our task is to make the Olympic dreams of the athletes are coming true.
日本はこの夏、東京オリンピック・パラリンピックを開催します。
东京奥运可能再度延期，甚至取消的传言甚嚣尘上。日本首相菅义伟和国际奥委会主席巴赫都亲自出面辟谣，还是压不住舆论的质疑声浪。
今の状況を踏まえると、できない可能性の方が高い。むしろやめるという決断をどこかでした方がいいんではないかと思いますけどね。
We as athletes, we just want the games to happen, and we want it to be confirmed, and we want there to be no doubt that it's happening, and then we'll just train.
Are you positive, sir, that the Olympics will happen with people in attendance, not just professionals, not just sportsmen and women, or people from the press, but also from the general public?
This I cannot tell you. Because our priority is to ensure safe Olympic Games, and we will do whatever is needed to organize safe Olympic Games.
国际奥委会不愿轻言放弃，日本政府更是骑虎难下。在防疫考量下，包括选手全面打疫苗，以及举行无观众的闭门比赛，都被搬上台面讨论。日本政府还是不断挂保证，东京奥运势必照常举行。
人類が新型コロナウイルスに打ち勝った証として、そして世界の団結の象徴として、世界中に希望と勇気をお届けできる大会を実現する決意です。
私たちはコロナがどういう形でやろうと必ずやると。だからやるかやらないかという議論をするのはもう超えてどうやってやるのかと。
日本政府对办奥运的决心，恐怕多少有财政考量。根据日本学者估计，如果东京奥运真的在无观众状态下登场，初估将造成2.4兆日元损失，相当于台币6500亿。可是，一旦奥运直接停办，日本政府损失更惨重，恐怕上看4.2兆日元，折合1.15兆台币。这笔账实在太庞大，甚至传出考虑将奥运会延后2届。再回到东京举行。
The Mainichi, the Japanese paper, denies these rumors. It says that the government has denied these rumors that because of COVID, that they were going to move the games to 2032, which is after the Paris and Los Angeles dates. The paper says, though, that the government vows that a plan B does not exist, that the games will go ahead in July.
东京奥运究竟办不办，陷入两难。在这个节骨眼上，居然有人站出来，在最后几个月的紧要关头，主动表达想揽下奥运重担。
Where the Japan Times is reporting that 70% of the citizens of Japan are not in favor of having the Olympics. So we went ahead and we fired off a letter that we had been sitting on for about 3 days to the chairman of the IOC in order to express our interest in hosting the Olympics here in Florida.
The state's chief financial officer says if we can do this, if we can pull off hosting the Super Bowl here in Tampa, we can host the Olympics.
美国佛罗里达州向国际奥委会毛遂自荐，这股底气来自于在新冠疫情肆虐下，佛州仍在2020年夏季成功举办了美国职篮 NBA 的闭门比赛。2021年2月，美式足球超级杯也要在佛州登场。佛州对于在疫情期间举办大型体育赛事信心满满。
The Super Bowl is operating at 30%. I'm assuming the Olympics will be operating the same way. And I know that Florida, whether it be our 12 world-class universities with their facilities that are already paid for by the taxpayers, all of our stadiums, our incredible international airports, between that, our hospitality and our hotel rooms, we can make this happen. We've got markets in Tampa, Orlando, and Miami that have been hit by COVID-19, so the capacity is there to accommodate them.
佛罗里达州想接手奥运，无非是看准了奥运有望带来的商机。这个如意算盘却恐怕打错了。摊开过去数十年来历届奥运主办城市的账目，想靠办奥运赚钱，简直是天方夜谭。
If you decide to put on the Olympics to make money on the Olympics, you're doing the wrong thing. There's been lots of studies of individual Olympics where you really try to look at everything you can find on the benefit side, and then you try to quantify, like if we have a better image now, does it mean that more people come to visit? Do we have more tourists? Do we have more people staying overnight in hotels and so on? Conclusions are in general that no city, except maybe Los Angeles in 1984, actually made a profit on the Olympics.
为了提升国家形象，历届奥运主办城市无不卯足了劲，却也留下一堆钱坑。奥运通常不是门好生意。
Hosting is expensive. Every game in the last 50 years has gone over budget. The 2014 Sochi Winter Games went over its $10 billion budget by an additional $41 billion.
These days, they require about 35 different athletic venues. They require an Olympic village that costs $1.5, $2, $3 billion, depending on the circumstance. They require a media and television production facility, which could very easily go for $500 million to $1 billion. They require a media village. They require ceremonial space and green space. They require transportation amongst all of and special lanes for the IOC executives, transportation amongst all of the venues.
耗费巨资新建的奥运场馆，不少后来沦为文字馆。2004雅典奥运场馆和周边的奥运公园早已荒废，杂草丛生。2016里约奥运的游泳馆在奥运隔年就宛如废墟，泳池积满泥沙。举办奥运享受一时光环，却留下沉重债务负担。有意争取奥运主办权的城市，几乎一年比一年少。
The joy, the sadness, the heartbreak, and so on. It's very human in that sense, and it shows a lot of the best sides of humanity really comes out in the Olympics. That is what are the positives, and if you want to support that, if you want to celebrate that, it makes sense to put on the Olympics.
当然，还是有部分城市现成场馆设备已经充足，不用再额外大兴土木或不以赚大钱为目的，更看重增加曝光、提升形象等其他附加价值。这门奥运生意暂时还没有断炊的疑虑。
4年前的这个时候，马来西亚经传在机场出现最明目张胆的刺杀事件，被害者还是流亡海外，是北韩领袖同父异母的亲哥金正男。当时消息一出，所引起的新闻旋风延烧好多天，手足相残、神经毒计、不知情的美女假特务，交织成一瞬间的刺杀行动。后来北韩否认受害者是金正男，马来西亚当局的追查也无疾而终，还放走躲进北韩大使馆的4名北韩嫌疑犯。这几年还是靠着好奇的美国导演顺势推出纪录片《金氏杀机》， 透过纪录片的形式记录新闻没曝光的蛛丝马迹，也公布了新事证。趁着金正男遭毒杀，在即将届满4周年之际，导演试图拆解刺杀案背后错综复杂的阴谋论，还还原事件发展的真相。
Dia lucu sikit, so dia banyak buat lawak. Dia jenis yang macam ramah, happy go lucky macam tu lah. So kita orang tak percaya dia membunuh. Kim Jong-nam has been assassinated.
北韩领导人金正恩同父异母的哥哥金正男，4年前在2017年2月13日，在马来西亚机场遭2名外籍女子离奇杀害，不但震惊全球、喧腾一时，最近更登上大荧幕，成为纪录片题材。
So around 9 a.m., Kim Jong-nam walked through this entrance to the terminal. He was just alone. No one was with him. And right behind this column, there was one woman waiting for him.
在繁忙的机场当众下手，2名外籍女子涉嫌行凶，被监视器拍得一清二楚。纪录片试图了解他们到底有什么深仇大恨，竟然敢公然刺杀北韩金氏政权可能的接班人。
He allegedly smeared VX chemical onto his face, and then he looked into the CCTV camera, as if, yeah, I just did that. So what?
不过，拍片的美国导演怀特花了2年半时间搜集证据，仔细过滤监视器画面，抽丝剥茧后才发现，2名女子可能是代罪羔羊。
We have strong evidence to show that she's been tricked. She was paid a few $100 that you come from behind, close somebody's eyes, like guess who I am.
The women were understandably wary of us because they had just almost, faced the ultimate penalty, their lives for having fallen for a film crew saying that they were going to make them famous.
怀特不只说服嫌犯受访，更跨海拍摄他们的生长环境，展现不同于过去在媒体上的形象。印尼籍的艾莎及越南籍的段世香，疑似怀抱明星梦被人利用，成了杀人凶手。
In 2016, Duan took part in 2 pranks which were uploaded on the YouTube.
This taxi driver introduced her to the North Koreans.
He told me how to do acting in the video.
Menurut saya itu uang yang sangat mudah untuk.
Even the image that I had built up in my own head of the 2 women was that way as well. So they're both lovely and thankfully survived this experience. But I think their lives will never be the same, unfortunately.
不过，纪录片也质疑2名女子在袭击金正男后进到厕所洗手前都没有碰触手扶梯，也刻意不碰到自己的身体，似乎明知道有问题，但还是要继续玩下去，可能伤害别人的游戏。
She thought that she was part of a prank show.
What? I think these girls are gonna hang.
She's really experienced the vitriol and sort of meanness of the world of social media outside judging her for having fallen for this. And so she's retreated into her shell a lot more. So it's sad to watch her, that was her first reaction, like saying, I wish I hadn't smiled so much when I was released.
纪录片也讨论外交问题，因越南与北韩都是共产国家，段世香没有像艾莎一样第一时间获得国家协助，隔年就撤销谋杀罪。最后在家属努力不懈下，越南政府才为段世香争取改依伤人罪判刑3年4个月，且因为在狱中行为良好，于2019年提前获释。
Em cũng chưa biết làm gì cả, nhưng mà em có lần lên thích được đi diễn. Giống như làm diễn viên vậy. Chắc chị em sẽ trả lời sau nha.
还有金氏家族的政治斗争也是影片的一大重点。怀疑金正恩为了稳固政权，精心设计这套刺杀案，不惜除掉血脉至亲，上演这出借刀杀人、兄弟残杀的戏码。
This was a political assassination, more than just the 2 girls being involved.
There were 8 North Korean suspects. They left the country immediately after Kim Jong-nam's death.
不过，纪录片也提到，金正男曾接触美国情报员，提供关于北韩的情资，才会被金正恩盯上杀害。但北韩政府否认到底，不但不承认死者是金正男，还痛批马来西亚擅自调查死因。马来西亚也质疑北韩使馆涉嫌窝藏嫌犯，让2国外交风波越滚越大。
Presented our case, there is no evidence of political plot.
In many ways, this is the perfect crime.
It was a very big lesson, and I think what's behind our film, which is the idea of, like, you know, when you look at the headlines, you might infer one thing, but when you pull back the curtain, it could be completely something else.
具有丰富纪录片经验的怀特，勇于挑战不同议题，从同志婚姻到网球女将小威廉斯的故事，都是拍片题材。这次更尝试拆解金正男的世纪悬疑命案，希望提供更多真相。不过，就算监视器画面会说话，但真正的凶手依然逍遥法外，金正男之死仍难以平反。